Hello students, I hope you're doing well. You're almost there. This is the last unit of the semester. This lab will be reflective in a way, and it will also help you to develop some skills that I want to make sure that you have by the end of the class, which are to work on a presentation and also to make a graph using digital tools like Google Sheets or Excel. Okay, so in the Unit 6 lab, we are going to discuss environmental laws, ethics, and policies, relate environmental issues to population and economic growth. There are two parts to this lab. We're going to do a class project about the UN Sustainability Goals, and we're all going to contribute to this same presentation, and then you're going to work on a population growth graph of your own hometown. So by the end of this lab, you should be able to answer the following questions about environmental ethics. What does the word ethics mean to you? What is environmental justice? What are 3 UN sustainability goals? There are 17. How does population growth affect the environment? Can the effects of population growth be mitigated? And then, as always, there's this boxed section at the end that aggregates all the parts that you're supposed to submit. Okay. So in the first part, I want you to spend 45 minutes checking out the UN Sustainability Goals web resources. And we'll go there now. This is a big website. There's lots of things to look at. So take some time exploring the goals and various international efforts to promote them and employ them. Okay, now this is a really quick video. If you just watch this, that will give you a quick introduction. I'm not going to do that right now because the audio through my recording device doesn't work well. But there you go. You could start there, but this is optional. Definitely spend 45 minutes looking at the full website. Okay, now you know me. I like to put you through various learning experiences. Obviously, no big brother. I can't make sure that you're actually doing it, but really, this stuff works. I gave a talk in Ohio. I think I shared it with you. And one of the other speakers at the symposium, he does research on how sketching improves the learning of his neurobiology students. And that just made me really happy because in other courses I have mandatory drawing for anatomy and physiology, but now I'm going to employ it on you. So I want you to take out a good old-fashioned piece of paper and pencil, and I want you to just make a sketch. It can be whatever, totally abstract or a flow diagram or whatever comes to mind. Just really try to think about making a visual representation of your interpretation of the research you just did looking at the website. Then, after making that sketch, imagine you're out socializing with your friends and your family. Tell them in 200 or 300 words what the UN Sustainability Goals are and why they were developed. Then finally, you're going to pick one goal and an environmental justice example topic issue related to that goal. Develop one slide or infographic to contribute to our UN Sustainability Goals class project. Upload your slide to our class presentation. You may use a photo of your sketch as the foundation for your slide, and of course, a slide should not have 200 words, but you could let your elevator speech drive the message of your slide. So I started this presentation here, and the first few slides basically are the framework of how my presentations work. Yours might be different, but notice how the words are as big as they can be to fit the space. And there's not a whole lot going on each slide. Research shows, and if you watch my YouTube channel, I have a TED Talk there about how, you should spend really only a few seconds on each slide in a presentation. And so just reminding you as the student, this is kind of wordy, obviously not a good slide design, but these are the points and the questions that you want to be able to answer after completing this lab. Okay, and again, bad slide design, but just copying the information here to make it easy for you to stay on track. Here's the slide design information. Make sure you identify yourself in your slide title and you note which goal you're going after. And then, oops, sorry, 50% words, 50% images. The font has to be bigger than 14 point. Right here, we're looking at 18 point. Okay. Text all one color. This has to do with ADA compliance. Color cannot be a driving communicative force in your presentations because a lot of people can't see color, including my son. And bullets, no sentences. If it doesn't fit, there's too much on one side. Please include your sketch, but you don't have to. And you may change the slide background color if you'd like. So here we have some more resources. You might include these in your slide. And then I really like this TED Talk, which is more background on the UN Sustainability Goals. And then these are just, I took the time to crop each one of these for you, so you can just pick this up and put it in your slide if that's the UN Sustainability Goal that you'll be going after. Okay, and there they are, all 17. So then after that, student slides begin. Make a new slide here and be on your way. Okay, now part 2. You know me, I'm always getting after you about graphs. Okay, so one classic way we employ graphs in environmental science is to look at population growth. So here are some background videos that you can watch. I might have already posted this one. It's really short, but it gives you a really visual representation of how the world is changing so quickly. So for example, since I was in college, and I'll be 40 next year, there are 40% more college students in America. 40% more people, almost 2 times as many people trying to go to college as when I went to college. So just sit and think about that for a second. That changes the game completely on college, what it does for society, how much debt you should go in to do it, because there are new checks and balances if we're talking about twice as many people in our society. This video really will help you to understand how the population changes over time. And so, you might have heard the term like baby boomers, right? So post World War II, people settled down in America, they gained wealth. The American ideals of working with a company throughout your life and promoting led to stability, and people had kids. And now those people are aging, and so we have a bubble. You can see it right here in this slide icon, that's kind of rising up through the age classes. More old people, something that you have probably heard about in the news. And when we go into retirement, we being people who are raising kids right now or college students, the effect of Social Security and the idea that we would be guaranteed a retirement is something that is really challenged by our population pyramid. So after you have checked this out and you're thinking about your own town's population, just Google the census and look for the population data. And you could do, your small township, your city, your county, whatever data is available. And then think about how the census, that's setting up your graph. You have age classes, and then also you're probably going to get data in decades, right? Because the census is done every 10 years. So start thinking about those bins in which your data will be presented in the graph. So make a population graph like the one in the video you watched, and I set up this data sheet to help you organize yourselves. So you're going to make a new sheet for yourself. See, I came over here to this plus down in the left corner, and I added a new sheet, and I went to the template. I clicked in the top right corner. I copied it. Oh, I used Control C, sorry. Control C. Select all. Control V is paste. Now I have a new sheet. Then I click rename. There you have it. Okay. So you're going to make yourself a new sheet. Don't mess with the template. And now let's go over here. So I just made up some fake data. And obviously, unless you live in Eden, Colorado, there would be more people in your town than represented in my data here. But I feel people are being challenged a bit by how to represent the data in the spreadsheet to then make a graph with it. So in the y-axis, you're going to have the age classes by tens of years, and in the x, you're going to have males and females. Now, in Google Sheets, I could only set it up so the males and females were showing on the same side of the axis, but thinking back to this diagram that we've been gazing at, you know, the females are over here, the males are over here, but it's the same exact thing. Okay? So now, notice if I change the data here, it automatically changes in the graph that I set up. And to make the graph, I just went over here and said insert chart, and then I selected the data like that, and there you have it. So when I change this data, the graph just changes. So if you copy my sheet into your own sheet and you change the data to reflect your town, then you'll be in business and you can copy this chart into your student responses section for the lab. Now the last piece of this is to kind of look at this shape, all right? So right here, how I have it set up, there's more people of middle age, of reproductive age, and there's fewer children, and there are fewer older people. But in your town, you might find that there are more old people than anybody else, or more children than anybody else. So, you know, I used to live in Summit County, and there are way more children in the elementary schools there than adults. As permanent residents in the community. That community is really changing, and that is true all over Colorado because across the entire state, our population is increasing. All right, now I hope this is helpful tutorial for you. Maybe you're way past this and you want to use your own tools to make the graph. That's fine. I just want to make sure that everyone leaves the class with these skills because I guarantee you, if you're pursuing a career in environmental science, there'll be some kind of data to collect, whether it's the number of volunteers you're managing, or water quality data, or residential data of some sort, or any kind of scientific parameter related to soils, plants, air quality. So being able to have this skill is really a professional skill as much as it is an academic skill. Okay, so after you make your graph, you will go to your student responses section, fill it in, copy everything in here, copy, 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 and then write your reflection. You know, I'm just writing these labs in response to your behaviors and comments and interests. So reflect back on how it could be better, worse, or what part of the lab you liked, what part you didn't, and if you have any additional questions. All right, I hope you're all doing well, hanging in there. Let me know, as always, by email if you have any questions. Thank you.